So in love with you, you just hug me and give me warmth. It could took away my pain and you let me feel so safe and peacefully calm. Dark run away, season cold again when you are around. Your voice is near, right beside my ears, and I'll fall asleep again into your dusk and soothe my dark. To glow it out, I see the blue of your flowers inside your heart, and stars help.
The way I like to see self-care is to take care of your future self. So you have to do something for your future self, something you'll thank yourself for, like making your bed in the morning, so in the night when you return to your bed it will feel cozier, or noting down or taking pictures of happy moments, so when you're feeling down you'll have something to look back on. These can be really hard to do because obviously we're not always ready to give our 100%, so it's really important to remind yourself that even if in the moment you're dreading to do something, you're doing it for your future self. But on days where you just don't want to make your bed or don't want to eat healthy, that's also okay. So today I'm just gonna share with you what I do for a reset self-care day. For my morning routine, I try to make an effort to follow my routine exactly because I know it will make me feel accomplished. So the first thing I do is to drink a cup of water while I'm still on my bed. This will kind of wake me up and also not require me to get out of my bed immediately after I wake up, because if I know to start my morning routine I'd have to get out of my bed, I would really dread to start the routine. The second thing that I do in my routine is while I'm still on my bed, I try to write 3 things down that I'm looking forward to today and write down how I felt after the night's sleep. And I do this in an app called Reflectly, who are kindly sponsoring this video. So when you first go into the app, you will be asked how you're feeling at the moment and what factors are making you feel that way. You can also choose what precise feelings you're feeling at the moment. Then you're gonna go into a journaling page where I will write the 3 things I'm looking forward to and my mood. I will sometimes also insert some photos that I think will set the mood for the day or will make me happy, so that throughout the day when I open the app, I can look at the photo and be happy. On the top of the page, they also have some morning motivation so you can kickstart your day. The next thing that I do is go to the bathroom and brush my teeth. And then I will head to my room and arrange my bed. This might seem really trivial, but when I go back to my bed in the night, I feel really nice if I already have my bed ready for me. So the next step, I sit on my bed and I do skincare. Skincare is a step that I tend to skip a lot, or sometimes I would only moisturize or tone my face. But even though skincare takes time and effort, I found that if I did the entire routine in the morning, throughout the day my skin will feel so much nicer, and so does my mood. After skincare, I would do makeup, but nowadays there isn't really a need to do makeup, so I skipped it today. Then I will change clothes and get ready. Over the years, I've realized how important a good start to the day is. A lot of the times I feel really demotivated just because I missed something I planned at the start of the day, so I feel like the rest of the day is ruined. I don't follow my morning routine all the time, but especially when or if I feel like I've been feeling under the weather, I will try to get myself to do all the stuff because I know it will make me feel better. A tip to making yourself follow your morning routine is to make the first step as easy as possible. So my first step is drinking water, and that's the easiest thing I could ever do in the morning because my water is literally just on top of my head and I could just drink it even on my bed. So that easy step kind of kickstarts your day, so it's easier to go through with the other steps. After my morning routine, after I got ready, I will walk Faggy in the morning. I found that some exercise in the morning will wake me up, even though a lot of the times I get really pissed off by irresponsible owners, but that also wakes me up. Seeing Faggy play makes me happy, so that kind of also motivates me. While Faggy's playing, I usually like to do something on my own, even though you don't have to be productive every break, but I like to do something while Faggy's playing because some of them wakes me up, Some of them helps me feel productive and get ready for the day, and some of these hobbies just allow me to be quiet. So the first option is watching YouTube videos. For some reason, I really like watching or listening to tech related videos in the morning. I also really like reaction or review videos. Anything that requires only a little bit of brain processing is great. The second option is a podcast. This is for when I'm really feeling productive, but honestly, not all podcasts are productive. Some are just entertaining and chatty, and that's great too. The third option is music for when I'm feeling really reflective or quiet, or when there are some dogs that I need to pay close attention to. And the last one is using Duolingo for when I'm really feeling like being productive, or when there isn't that many dogs, so I can just have my focus on my phone. Again, I don't do this every time I arrive in my studio, but if I'm just feeling especially demotivated, I will try to do these things. Upon arriving in the studio, I will try to tidy up my desk space because this obviously will make me feel better mentally, but also not having a cluttered space will also help me be more productive, which in turn also makes me feel better. The next thing is to boil some water because it's important to drink water and stay hydrated, and it's disappointing to not have water when you want it. Also, I like drinking tea sometimes. Some of my favorite tea are peach tea, oolong tea, and green tea, but only if I'm not on my period. So after I got ready, I will start working. And while I work, I will make sure to take regular breaks because usually when I really feel like I'm on a roll, I will not take breaks. So my work days are always like 8+ hours non-stop staring at the monitor, but obviously that's not healthy. Like at night when I feel super bad physically and mentally, and I try to fill in my diary reflecting on my day, I'm like, oh my god, that's why, because I didn't take a break and I just stared at the monitor for the entire day. So here are the things I will do on breaks. The first thing is using the massage chair that my family got. It is really relaxing to lie on there, and it's really easy to extend the break infinitely, but I will try to get out of that chair. The second option is to get some chocolate or snacks at the snack machine, but I'm trying not to do that too often because that's also unhealthy. And then the third option is to look out at the window, even if that's super creepy. Like I hold a cup of tea and then I look out the window. But that's kind of calming too, to look at people just walk. Also, throughout the day, I make sure I write some diary entries in Reflectly. I have the alarm set at 11 a.m., but throughout the day, I will also fill it in. Now it is the time for me to share why filling in a diary is important. And I'm actually really passionate about this because when we're busy, it's really easy to neglect how you're feeling, and sometimes it's not even about neglecting, but simply forgetting how you felt or how your day went. And when we neglect how we feel, those feelings pile up and can easily build up to a breakdown without us even knowing why. So keeping a diary can help you keep note of that and to allow you some space to look into yourself during the day and the end of the day. So you at least will get to know what difficulties you're facing, where they're from, and try to fix them from there. Other self-care stuff that I do while I work is play music and sing along really loudly. Obviously, this doesn't work for everything I do and it doesn't work for everyone, but I just really love yelling and it really makes me feel refreshed. The next thing is to make sure to eat lunch. This is another thing that seems really simple, but I always skip eating lunch because at the end of my secondary school life, I almost never had lunch because it was so busy. So it became almost a habit to just not have lunch. But it makes me super weak and just unable to focus. And also just thinking about what to eat and being able to look forward to that is pretty fun. The last thing on this list is to keep a to-do list. And this is not only to keep track of what you need to do, what you're doing, what you're done with, but also for the satisfaction when you check stuff off. So I put even the simplest task in my to-do list. Even after I'm done with them, I'll just put it and immediately check them off. So at the end of the day, I can look at my to-do list and know what I did that day, what I accomplished that day. Now onto the portion where I'm out of work or when I got off work, I will try to take a lot of pictures. This is another thing that I discovered to be so simple yet so beneficial to my mental health because I love capturing happy moments so I can look back on them later. So for things like people, food, objects, I pretty much try to take a picture of anything I find interesting. Lately, I've also been trying to bring my Fujifilm around more to take photos because it feels different from taking photos photos on a phone, even though it's also digital. The next thing that I will do is watch a comfort show or movie. And what's a comfort show or movie, you might ask? And here's the answer. I don't know if it's the anxiety in me, but it makes me very unsettled when I watch new movies while not in a cinema. Like I always skip around cringe parts or gory parts if I'm at home, but in cinemas you can't skip things, so it makes it less unsettling somehow. So I always like to rewatch things that I've watched before. And also, I just so happen to be a person who loves analyzing movies, so I love rewatching and analyzing movies with my sister. Also, I really love a lot of objectively bad movies, mostly because they don't require a lot of thinking and that they're just fun. So after everything is done, the day is gone, I will try to take a bath. This is a little bit hard to do because I share the bathroom with my other family members, like we only have one bathroom. Taking the time to queue up for the bath is worth it. I usually spend some time listening to music, watching YouTube videos, or reading some books on my Kindle in the bath, but honestly, I can just sit there and do nothing and it will be super calming and nice. The next thing that I'll do is to drink some tea. But not normal tea, because those have caffeine and that will not help you sleep, that will wake you up, on the contrary. But I love drinking something warm before I sleep in the winter, only in the winter, not in the summer. But I hate drinking warm milk, so then obviously I will lie in my bed and watch some YouTube or some shows until I feel like sleeping. But right before I want to go to sleep, I will journal. So I open Reflectly and write down 3 things that I'm proud of for myself for doing or being today. It doesn't have to be something grand. It could be something like finishing work early or being able to eat slightly healthier that day. Just anything that makes you feel proud of yourself. Then I will look back on the entries that I wrote throughout the day just to reflect on how I felt throughout the day. Oh my god, I just realized that Reflectly and reflect, like it helps you reflect, like I didn't even realize throughout the time that I wrote the script. Okay, lastly, I will share some tips on journaling for self-care. The first tip is don't only write down the bad things. It's really easy to remember to journal/vent when you're going through something bad and to forget to journal when you're happy and living in the moment. But what that does, at least to me, is that I make focusing on the negative things really easy for myself. But if you write down even the simplest positive things when you're having a bad day, they will remind me of all the good things you have. Like in the past, when I was having a really hard time, I even wrote down the traffic lights turned green as soon as I reached the crosswalk. Like things as simple as that, or someone hold the door open for me, whatever, like something as simple as that. The next tip is to include photos. This is mainly because I'm a visual person. This helps me remember my day better, but also it just makes the journal looks nicer, you know, like having a more visual element to it. I also really like to put pictures I saved of my biases in my journal, so I can just maybe feel like I have their support, you know. And the last thing is to choose something easy and accessible to journal with. This is a tip I got from a photographer YouTuber, that tools that motivates you to use it is just as important as a tool that is outstandingly competent. If your journal requires a lot of maintenance, or if you feel a really big pressure to make it look good, or anything else that could stop you from really using it, then you won't really be using it when you need it. Which is also kind of why I abandoned physical journaling altogether, because when I'm having a hard time, I just don't really feel like bringing out washi tapes or stickers or highlighters to journal with. Of course, keeping a journal that is aesthetically pleasing or spending time in a journal is not something that is inherently bad, but if you're using your journal as a self-care tool or to reflect yourself on, I would really recommend something that is more accessible and easy to use. Hope you guys will enjoy Reflectly as much as I did. And with this really tiring, to say the least, year ending, and with 2021 starting soon, I really hope we can all prioritize self-care a little bit more and take care of ourselves a little bit more, because a little bit of self-care truly goes a long way. I hope you guys enjoyed my sharing today, and I hope my tips were helpful to you. And you can also share whether you liked this format of video, because it's a little bit different. But yeah, as always, you can leave down video suggestions or requests down in the comments below, and I will try to make them. And You can give me a like if you like this video. You can subscribe if you're not subscribed. Turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be in 2021. So belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.